Last week, I had the incredible opportunity to attend the Rap Snacks Disrupt Summit, and let me say what an experience it was. Getting the privilege to meet hip-hop legends, delve into the extensive CPG industry, and immerse myself in the culture was just a great opportunity. This was definitely a journey for the history books and marking the beginning of something great in my career. A major thanks to Dr. Sam Williams for believing in me and providing this life-changing opportunity. The start of the trip was a little bit rocky. A recent accident left me without my car, so making it to the airport was kind of difficult. But I was able to catch a ride with my professor at 5:30 a.m. for my 12 o'clock flight, so I had plenty of time to waste. Without a ticket, I waited in the lobby where I ran into this incident with a homeless man. I'm sitting there on my switch. He comes up, scares the hell out of me, and asks me, do I know about the population of homeless people that live in the airport? It kind of throws me off, but I just took it as a warning that maybe I shouldn't be so relaxed. So I go upstairs and I chill next to TSA for the rest of my time. Not being super well versed in luggage weight restrictions, I had a predicament with my 75-pound suitcase and only being able to have 40 pounds. And I know the school wasn't going to cover the $150 fee, so I had to improvise. I had to shed some weight. I had to call another professor. He came and got my mic stands, which were 25 pounds. I had to throw away some old shoes, and I had to put on 3 hoodies and 2 pairs of pants just to barely get down to about 42 pounds, and they let me through. Dr. Williams gets theirs around 10, gives me my ticket, and we navigate through the airport. The regular flight, I finally get to catch up on some sleep, judging by the fact I've been up since 5. Upon landing in Fort Lauderdale, we encountered some minor troubles with the Uber. After waiting outside for the hour, we get a new Uber, finally get to the W. As we walk in, nervousness starts to overwhelm me. Luckily, I had ordered some lapel mics and a tripod to the hotel a day before, decision that proved to save this entire trip for me. Some uncomfortable photos and introductions while I'm still in my travel attire. We finally get up to the room. I get to change clothes minutes before the introductory mixer. It's a special feeling knowing you're the youngest and least experienced person in the room. The only comfort that really was there for me were these lamb chops. When I tell you these lamb chops were phenomenal, oh my goodness, I've been thinking about them since. I'm joking. One of the biggest things I got was I got to meet Wise Intelligent from Poor Righteous Teachers, who pointed out a lot of great figures for potential interviews. And I also got to meet the Rap Snack CEO, James Lindsay, who allowed me to get a picture. And then a little later, I had to convince Dr. Williams to get on camera doing the little 360 video before we headed back to our rooms. Determined to capture a couple podcasts on day 1 of the conference, I got there about 2 hours early, setting up in a nice corner with my normal setup. A little breakfast debacle. I start eating the wrong group's breakfast. This went on for about 30 minutes. And then I had to move my equipment because apparently we weren't even supposed to be down there. So I was just down there eating all types of people's food. So I pack all my stuff up, put it in my bag, which it ended up staying for the rest of the trip. First event we had introduced me to Derek Hayes. He's the inspirational owner of Big Dave's Cheesesteaks. And he told this wonderful story about how he really was able to come up and work to become a millionaire out of a Shell gas station, and that really stuck with me. So after his event, I modestly approach him, ask for a podcast interview. He agrees, and then I don't see him for the rest of the conference. After his speech, we broke out into 2 rooms, distributors and CPG brands. Dr. Williams instructed me to go to the CPG room, where I learned one of the main reasons for my invitation was my managerial position at the Lincoln University's Lincubator, specifically the Lincubator's Innovation Cab. This revelation boosted my confidence. I interacted with entrepreneurs, gathering contacts and leaving a positive impression. When we reconvened at the next seminar, we covered Rap Snacks foundations and outreach programs, with a surprise shout out from Wise Intelligent mentioning that I was outperforming the S&P 500 by 50%.
Stock boss up, Jordan Hall. Is Jordan Hall out there? Oh, here we go. This young man right here, he uses Stock Boss Up app, and he's killing it on Stock Boss Up app. He's outperforming the S&P 500 by 50%. Right there.
Which is something that I didn't even know I was doing. I just did the app, bought a couple stocks, followed the rules. Next thing I know, I was 14th in the nation. I didn't think it was a big deal up until this point. So he calls me out right before Wall Street Trapper's appearance, who is somebody that I've been following and I've looked up to for a while now. The energy after this just changed everything. I went from the young kid meekly asking for podcast interviews to a recognized professional just from those two things, and that blew my mind. I was invited to the press room, and then I even got to grasp the magnitude of my newfound status, because once I was invited into the press room, I also was treated like the press. I got to talk to these people on the one, and I got to hear their other sides of the story and take pictures with them that a lot of other people and distributors there weren't afforded the opportunity. After this, the events ended and we got to go home, where I got on a call with my mom and I freaked out. And I'm breaking down to her the 3 major things that let me know that I'm allowed to be here and be in this space with all of these professionals, because I'm a college student. I don't feel like I deserve to be here with these people making millions of dollars and their own brands and already established. So I'm on the phone with my mom and she tells me, "You become a great man." And this really changed my whole perspective, because at this point, this is the first time my mother's ever called me a man. So I have to really grasp and understand that that's who I am now. After this, a lot of reflecting and really just understanding in my mind, opening up to all these new experiences, I go to sleep for day 2. And day 2.
Hey, hate to stop the recording. I'm just here to let you know to subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Thanks.
Because I became a lot more assertive and mature in my questions and movements. I wasn't as concerned about embarrassing myself or my school or Dr. Williams. And the confidence I got from that first day really transformed me. It gave me the ability to have interactions with celebrities like Shabazz the OG, which resulted in exciting shout-outs for my podcast.
Yizzo, what's poppin'? It's your boy Shabazz the OG, and I want y'all to make sure y'all tune in, tap in the Black Caliber podcast, you dig?
The other attendees eagerly agreed to be featured on my podcast, and I also was getting many invitations to parties and other hangouts outside of the conference that made me feel included and like I was really a part of the Rap Snacks family. After prolifically shooting podcasts, more videos than I ever thought possible kind of became the norm for me. The second half of day 2 was the much anticipated Founders Ball, which was the summit's climax. It was a chance for everyone to let loose after 2 days of work and learning, and Rap Snacks really went above and beyond themselves with a red carpet, a live band, an open bar, which I did not drink from, and tons of delectable food. The beef empanadas, oh my goodness, they were giving out free samples. I had 12. I was going insane. And they also had the savior of my trip, lamb chops. This also was my chance to meet a lot of celebrities and interactions and brush shoulders with celebrities like Meek Mill, Rick Ross. I got to meet Wallow, one of the best podcasters out, Jason White, and one of my personal favorites, Dennis from 60 Days In. After getting pictures with all these people, I got to return to my hotel room, and as the trip concludes, I get to fly back to Philadelphia, where this happened. But I'm still in awe of the incredible things I had the pleasure to see and experience and become through the Rap Snacks Disrupt Summit.